guess I'll start off with this. You know, I feel like I'm really old here. I have 30 years of experience. But thank you very much. I feel kind of like the odd duck here, since we have a sort of low-rise, old historic building. But it's certainly special in its own right. And I think what you'll see is the proposed renovation of the building is going to be quite spectacular. Next slide, please. The Austin Nichols building was Cass Gilbert's first warehouse commission on the East Coast, 5 years before his design of the Brooklyn Army Terminal. This is where he set a precedent by providing an efficient, economical, reinforced concrete building with a clean, austere style that was a forerunner to the warehouses and factories common from the early 20th century to the present day. His philosophy of simplicity is expressed beautifully in this building and influenced construction of warehouses for years to come. And here you can see some of the base data: 1914 construction, 450,000 square feet, the commercial and Egyptian revival styles. Next, please. Gilbert designed the Austin Nichols company building for the company, which at that time was the world's largest grocery business. It was designed to consolidate their operations from numerous locations within Manhattan. The new building was constructed at a cost of $866,000, which is monumental when you think about that in 1914. Now that also included all the equipment within the building. The 450,000 square foot structure featured technologically advanced elements such as spiral chutes, gravity and overhead conveyors, lower raters, which are vertical conveyor belts, pneumatic tubes, and a quadratic rail system where literally the cars can be loaded directly into the building. These systems have facilitated the production of packaging and shipping of items such as coffee, cheese, caviar, olives, peanut butter, and cigars. Its location, as you can see, was ideal for given its immediate access to the rail, road, and water. Next, please. In 1938, the grocery division of Austin Nichols was sold to Francis Leggett and Company, and at that time the company began to exclusively manufacture and distribute liquor in the building for over 20 years. In the 1940s, the production of Wild Turkey brand bourbon began. Now that's historic in and of itself, so I don't think we have to worry about Cass Gilbert getting this historic. In 1955, the company moved to Queens, and the building passed into use as a small business manufacturing storage facility. Next, please. So given its prime location right on the East River, with stunning views of Manhattan and the transition of the immediate vicinity from manufacturing to a mixed residential commercial area underway, this building became a prime candidate for conversion into residential units. Guided by the current owners, a number of development scenarios were explored, ranging from the total demolition of the building to the construction of a new tower within the core of the building. Fortunately, the decision was ultimately made to rehabilitate the building into 300 residential units at a cost of $100 million, which is probably a little bit higher than that now, Tom. And to make the project more viable economically, the federal preservation tax incentives is going to be used on the project. So as part of that first process, you can see above, we did get the building listed on the National Register of Historic Places, with the intention of rehabilitating the building using the tax credits. Next, please. The five major issues that we're going to be dealing with in the renovation are obviously concrete restoration, this big concrete hulk sitting on the East River with limited maintenance for many, many years. As you can imagine, there's some substantial concrete problems. So the current appearance, this is pot-marked patches over the years will certainly have to be taken care of. Next, please. Window replacement. Majority of the original windows have been removed over the years with a variety of vinyl and aluminum windows. So there are some locations where the original windows are remaining. So the proposal is to restore the window with windows, new aluminum units that will match the profile configuration of the historic windows. So that is underway as well. Next, please. The numerous first floor entries that were used for the loading bays and various entrances will be renovated. And again, this was a situation where all kinds of different doors and concrete blocks and everything conceivable has been used to infill these openings over the years. So the idea is to take original drawings from Cass Gilbert as well as a few remaining original doors, and to work with them, but at the same time adapt those elements to the new use of the building for its new residential and commercial use. Rooftop additions, knowing that seeing that there's such a spectacular view. This photo up on the upper left is taken from the roof of the building of Manhattan. Obviously, there's a desire to make some additional units on top. The original proposal was two-story units in 4 pods in the 4 corners of the building. That was deemed too visible by the National Park Service. That has now been reduced down to 1 story and a 2-story unit as well. And we had to show the visibility of each of those units, as we see in the upper left, with a number of different scenarios for how visible the units would be. Next. And then, since it's such a large building with such a large footplate, a new light well will be constructed. Will be extracted actually with a new glass wall, seeing on the left here, to provide additional light into the interior of the building. That's it.